So yeah, it's 10 o'clock. So good morning, everyone. And while we are still seeing people joining, I will start the introduction and welcome to today's first webinar of the year by Wolk Aftersales Intelligence on the topic of aftermarket e-commerce insights. My name is Markus Zaren. I'm Director Sales at Wolk and I'll be your host this morning. Well, it's great to see such strong interest from across Europe. And of course, that proves that the subject is of interest. Today, we will share the key highlights of our new 26 release of our e-commerce insights. And as at Wolk our mission is to bring fragmented aftermarket data together into one trusted decision-ready platform. We are proud to present this 360 degrees view on e-commerce with a focus on market size, channels, and key marketplaces like Amazon and eBay. So this session is being recorded and the recording will be made available after the session. We will mute during the session by default all participants. However, we kindly invite you and encourage you to raise your questions through the chat during the session, and we will address them on the fly to the best of our capabilities. And then at about 10:45, we will have also a Q&A session where we will address the remaining question and then also open the mics. Please raise then your hands. And you know how it works, and then we will also address additional questions, and then we will have a hopefully a good discussion. And the remaining questions, then of course we will be happy to address after the session in individual calls and meetings. So, having said this.
Sorry, Markus, I muted you. Markus, you are on mute.
Sorry. I couldn't unmute me. I was just at the end of my speech. I hope you got everything. So we'll have the Q&A session at about 10:45. Please raise any questions through the chat. And with no further ado, I will hand it over to Antti, who will be guiding you through the new e-commerce insights release. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Markus, and also from my side, a warm welcome to everybody to our first webinar this year. And I'm very happy to see that many people joining us today. We spent some time to rebuild and reshape our e-commerce insights into something that is built on what we already have created for a couple of years. So within the audience, we might have people using already our tools. So you will see a lot of changes for everybody else. Of course, everything is going to be new. So it's partly general introduction into the tool, but containing also a lot of news or new information that we made available now. Let me share my screen so that to make sure you can see it. First of all, we made some changes in the visuals. So this is now our new starting page to enter all the different modules, not only for the e-commerce market, but also for the general aftermarket overviews, which we call the access database. We have the aftermarket barometer as a part of this general aftermarket intelligence hub. But today it's of course dedicated only to the e-commerce insights. It starts with the aftermarket news, where we have also a filter on the e-commerce news, so that it's an easy spot to keep track and trace what's happening within the market, to have this gathered from different sources, from all the different magazines, to have it on one spot. The content of the e-commerce insights is now split into different modules, and each of them has certainly different content. And what is completely new by today, where we have spent, I would say the last 6 months on, is the total market. Previously, we had a module called the e-commerce player, where we have gathered more than 3,000 different web shops. We made a mapping so that you can see which of the web shops belong to which of the companies, and we've put the user traffic behind, so that there is a measure to compare the size or the user interest in these platforms. And it was always requested, is it possible to show also the revenue behind for each of the players? And this was the cause. And also we always wanted to know what is the total market volume regarding e-commerce. So that has driven us to build an entire new tool that is showing the total market volume, where you can filter and drill down into the different segments. And that is the new e-commerce 360 market size and channels. So that is literally showing the total market volume in terms of net sales, meaning that is the revenue without taxes and without returns, etc. And we are showing also the total gross market volume, because we are looking at B2C shops and also at marketplaces where there are other sellers selling, so that we often need to see both metrics, the gross market volume as well as the net sales. But in general, we have everything on the net sales, and we see this is the total volume we've calculated for 2025 at the moment. We can switch also from an annual perspective to a monthly view, and we see yet there is missing the December of last year, but this is something we are building now month by month with a small time gap, so that you can follow up from the point when you have access to this tool, how this market volume is developing month by month. And from here, it's possible then to look into the different markets. So how does this volume distributes over the different countries? If we select, for example, Germany, then we see next, how does it split into the different main channels? And we split into the main channels of what is generated on marketplaces. This is something like Amazon, eBay, Allegro, Dapato, and all these marketplaces that offer other sellers to place their product. And in opposition to this, we have the B2C shops. So these are the single B2C shops like Autodoc, like Oscar Bro, Mr. Auto, etc. And the next level is then splitting the single channels. So here, if I select the marketplaces, for example, we see exactly how is the split among the different marketplaces. So what is the turnover made on eBay versus Amazon? And Amazon is something we have split also into what is Amazon doing itself and what is done by all these third-party players that are located on Amazon. Because Amazon, everybody knows, is a specific marketplace, being a seller on its own, but offering also the sales for third-party players. And among others, we see also that, yeah, as mentioned, we have Depato, Kaufland, Cdiscount, and plenty of other marketplaces in our observation. Or let's see on the B2C webshop side, there is the same picture we have here. And this is the equivalent to our previous e-commerce players dashboard, where we see the single accounts or the single domains like autodoc.de, but also, yeah, all the other single domains that are selling car parts or car components. We have, according to have a realistic market volume on the highest level to sum it up to the European or to the country level, we have to add also some placeholders which are not in our observation in a single web shop at the moment. So this are the OEMs and dealer web shops. These are DIY stores. And we have also a placeholder for smaller B2C shops that are not in our observation. As mentioned, we are currently looking at more than 3,000 single web shops, but of course there is always some more that we haven't yet in account or in our observation. Here we see also the others. That's something, yeah, we can also drill in, but it's becoming not really convenient to look at this. Therefore, it's always possible to switch to a table view so that you can look also change these different views and perspectives. And these tables and donut charts, etc., of course, can be downloaded always from the options into Excel, or in this case into DSV when it's a donut chart, but the tables can be also downloaded in Excel files. And this is now the perspective on the single web shops, and on the right side we have then the aggregated view to the companies, so that if we select again Autodoc, then we will see the entire range of different domains and web shops they are using currently at the German market, as we have selected Germany earlier.
Antti, there is a question coming in, or there are actually already two questions. Maybe let's start with the second from Frederic de Croix. Can we have a filtered view by product category?
Yes, I just need to scroll a little bit further. That would be the next part here. So that is, something we have built additionally on top, so that you can really look at every single player. What is their category range in the market? That's certainly something that we do not have the exact information provided by all these players. That is built on the range that we can see from the eBay insights, where we have more than 60 million articles gathered, from where we have really good insights. How is the product or the category split within the different markets, within the different players? So whenever a player is part on eBay, we use the share, the category share they are having on eBay, also to extrapolate this to the B2C world. But it's giving a good perspective now, so that you can see how is the split on the total market, but also going down into the different channels. And that's where you clearly see, if we would select to the marketplaces instead of the B2C shops, and looking for the Amazon, we clearly see that the split at the category side is clearly changing, as we will see later on also in the Amazon Insights perspective, where it's very clear that the category split at Amazon is totally different compared to eBay or the general car parts wholesale.
A second question here was from Raman Haravoy. Are you planning to provide any visibility regarding Autodoc platform? eBay and Amazon is good and interesting, but Autodoc is of course also even larger. So I don't know if we have anyone from Autodoc in the call, but Andy, what is your take on this?
Yes. So whenever there is a possibility to get some information on the marketplace activities on Autodoc, we will certainly take this into our observation. However, at the moment, it's a very young platform, and so far as I can see, there is not much players, not much sellers at the platform at the moment. But it's also already I think 1.5 months ago I have checked this. There was only Frankenberg Autoteile, which is a new Chinese players from Eastern Germany who is active at every marketplace. But we will observe this when it comes very a bigger marketplace with more sellers. That's something, of course, we need to take into our perspective here as well. If there is no further question, I would then scroll further down. Here we do have two different summary views, so that it's something where you can just easily read who are the players here, or something from where you can download a table into an Excel file so that you can start utilizing this at your own end. But it's also the place from where we can enter into the detailed profiles of the single players. So I clicked now on the blue highlighted names, and then from there we get into sorry, I need to clear the filters to have the entire perspective on Autodoc then. So from here we can see or read the single profile of Autodoc, from where we have information on the address, also the corporate structure, if they belong to another company or if they are part of a trade buying group. We have some specific news about the company here, and we have the full summary how the entire volume is split into the different markets, the channels, and categories. And of course, the historical development of this company.
We have a great question coming here from Pina from ZF. Thanks for that. How do you generate or obtain the sales information from those platforms or for these platforms? I think this is something that is of very general interest. Maybe you can highlight on this a bit.
It's about the methodology and the how do we get this information. First of all, we have a full documentation here where we have also explained the entire methodology. And in general, we have at the basis, we have the 3,000 web shops where we are collecting the user traffic. We have a lot of information collected from the eBay sales. And this is, so to say, the core of this information. And additionally, or what was always missing, was the information about Amazon, because this is the second marketplace with the huge volume in Europe. And since we have information about this Amazon marketplace, we were now able to fit the picture, to fulfill or to fill in the gaps. And what we are doing now is that we are taking the traffic at the B2C web shops and multiplying this with a conversion rate, and we have also an average basket size. And this we are, of course, using with factors on what kind of web shop is it, which specialization is behind, in which market is it active. We are filling gaps where we see that that companies are doing a lot of traffic through mobile applications, or the privacy and cookie restrictions that came from Google, etc. All these things we need to take into consideration, and we build a heuristic calibration based on these factors, so that we can build up from the B2C world based on traffic, conversion rate, and average basket value. We sum it up, and we have a very good picture on what's happening on eBay, on Amazon. And of course, we need to do also a lot of estimations for all the channels that where we do not have this information, which I mentioned earlier. These are other marketplaces like Allegro, Dapazzo, AliExpress, etc., but also DIY stores, etc. So
There is, sorry,
just
there
to
is,
sum
there,
up, sorry, go ahead.
There is just one question coming in, and maybe you can highlight on this just after you sum up. It's about the definition of user traffic. What does it include? What does it mean? Is it the items that have been purchased, or the items that have been placed in the basket but not necessarily purchased?
The user traffic is a pure visit of the website. We are counting only those visits that are, or we can count off this number of visits, those that are just visiting one site or jumping off the site after a few seconds. So only those qualified visits are here counted. And this is coming from a third-party provider who are collecting these information, where we are relying on to build up these calculations.
There is another question which I must say I have not fully understood. It's about, does the tool have a split filter for mobile traffic and website? Does it mean from a mobile device and stationary, maybe? Yeah.
This is something we do not have. So this is only dedicated or to the traffic in general on the website. We do not see, or we do not split if a user is using a mobile application or using the a desktop PC to enter the website.
Okay, clear. Okay. Please go ahead. I think
all right.
Answered all the questions.
We can come back to this also during the Q&A session. So I would come back to the starting page from here. And that was now, the total market perspective from where we can go down to the single players. And now I would switch to the eBay overview, which is giving now the deep or the detailed information of the eBay platform. That's something where we found methods to get the real sales of eBay, which is a very unique part or specific, as we are not only scraping what is offered and what prices are offered on platforms. So this is everything based on the real sales on eBay. And important to know also that we are not looking at the entire eBay category of car parts and car components. We go only to 1,281 single eBay accounts. So we have allocated these accounts as they are the most significant ones, or they belong to the general distributors or players in the market we know. And these 1,281 are really specialized on car components. And we are observing only these accounts. Of course, we are from time to time always looking and trying to fill in the gaps and find more players. But these are definitely the most significant ones. And they are doing within the last 12 months. So this is all showing now the full year of starting from January 25 to December 25. And they are generating a total sales of 2 billion euro with 33.5 million single articles, single items. And we see from the map, this is based on the location of the sellers. So the vast majority of sellers is located in Germany with 649. But we have also a bigger amount in the UK with 252. And we are collecting now and looking more into the other markets. So within the eBay Germany, we have a very significant part of sellers. In other markets, we are not yet there, but it's part of our job to collect more and more of these players. And here we can see now on the left side, this is the aggregated picture. So we see the company side, and on the right side we see the single account. And from here we can select, for example, ATP Autoteile, and we see on the right side the different accounts they are operating on eBay. We see the full total sales that ATP Autoteile is doing during the last 12 months, and we can drill down or see how does this volume distributes in the different categories. And these are now the categories taken from eBay. So starting from category level 2 to 3, and whenever we select one of these categories, we will see that the subcategories will change accordingly, so that we see only categories that belong to the category of brake parts. And further down, we have also the details about the brand names. Now being at ATP in the category of brake parts, we see the splits among or within this category, we see the split of the brands. And by having these three components, we can easily analyze the market or the eBay market from either from the brand perspective to see if I want to look at ATE, how does this, or we can analyze in which categories is ATE the most dominant one. And not surprisingly, it's the brake part, of course, but we have very few other ones. So we can analyze our own brand in the different categories. We can select the category and then easily see how am I located within the entire category. We see we are second behind Detroit Axle. This is private label from a US player, but we see the competitors on the European market with Brembo, Bosch, Febi, etc. This is the one level, but the other one, which is of course even more interesting, is to see who are the main players that are selling my brand, or and then also to compare. Now we see with ATE, ATP is a dominant bundle, etc. But how does it look if I deselect the brand? How does it distribute over the entire category? Are there players that are even more dominant? And we see a bundle is the biggest seller compared to ATP. And it's something to think about then as from the perspective of ATE. With bundle, there would be potentially more potential to tackle. This is the first simple layer of analyzing the eBay sales. We can certainly go much deeper into the details. Whenever there is the total sales, we can click on it, and then that's now the now this is the part of the live.
In the meantime, maybe one question came up here from Maike from Bosch. I don't see. She's looking into her access, of course. I don't see it yet. The new modules. That's right. We're now doing the preview, and we have also a new, say, modular approach here, and of course, the access still needs to be granted. And please reach out to us individually after the call, and then we also talk about the conditions of access. So that's maybe the commercial break.
Yeah.
And we'll come back to that later.
Yeah.
At the end. So please.
Yeah, I have to apologize. There is some mistake now that I cannot highlight how we can drill from here into the details. But we can jump into the next module from where it is also visible to see. This is the eBay long-term perspective, since we now just were observing or looking at the last 12 months. But we have also another additional module where we have a long-term perspective at the period here starting from January 23 until end of 25 now. And we see here now the rolling sum. This is always the year-over-year sum of the last 12 months, and we see how it's progressing from January 24, where the last 12 months is included, up to now December 2025, to the total sum of 2 billion. This is certainly highlighting that the sales on eBay is increasing. Of course, as mentioned, we are taking permanently new players into account, but this is not entirely the cause of the increase of the eBay sales. This is definitely an organic growth on eBay, highlighting also that this is a great platform for the general car parts sales. The last statement from, I think, November in last year, eBay stated also that they are closely to get to a 50% sales to professionals. That's also highlighting that eBay is a highly relevant, not only for private persons, but also for the professionals, professional workshops in Europe. And by having this now, it's the place to see also the progress, to measure how is my performance this year compared to last year, how is my performance compared to competitors or to the entire category range. First of all, we see here the sales performance per quarter, and we see in blue always the growth rate compared to the previous year or to the previous quarter. And we see again the proof that 2024 was already a growth of 27%, and now in 25 we have a growth rate of 42% on the eBay sales. We have it also on the monthly basis, and we have it according or regarding the average price. And we see also a high increase, but here it's definitely important to make selections by countries, because we see that the highest growth rates or in price is coming at the moment from the US American players, where the inflation or the prices are increasing dramatically, where this is in Europe more on a moderate level at the moment. But again, from here, we can, let's take another brand. We can, or let's start with the category level. We can see now, based on a category, how are the sales on the category level. And we see again, there is an increase of 44% on the entire category. And then we can either go here or select the different brands and then check and see my growth rate is only 12%. So it's an easy way to compare and to see, is 12% a good number, or how does it compare to the entire market, and how does it compare to other players? This is one way. We can also scroll further down where we have these tables, so that there is an easy comparison where we can see it on a quarterly level, brand by brand, to have direct comparison among the different players, among the different categories. And we can even see how the different sellers are performing, to see also, are my customers performing well compared to the general market, and who is the one that is growing the fastest in my category, for example. Again, this can be all downloaded and is open to drag into Excel, etc.
Antti, there's one more question coming from Mike Bogle. It's about, is it possible to find information about sales using a specific OE part number? How deep can we drill down?
Well, we have the category, or the product number level is something we have on the eBay Insights. Yes. However, we have to say that the eBay is giving a big freedom to every seller. So first of all, there is a lot of bundles, so that sellers can put different products into one. And in these cases, it's not possible to see what of this turnover belongs to the different product. But there is, of course, a big proportion of articles that are really single articles, and they mostly, or eBay is using the EAN number to have the proper number to compare these. And then the sellers can also give information about the manufacturer number, etc. But these are not really clean. We are collecting them, however, trying to clean them up as good as possible. But it's a database, or not the situation that every article is really clean with a product number. But that's something that is possible, and we are also offering some customized analysis on this. As you saw, the database is huge. With at the moment, when we're looking at the total historical information, it's now exceeding the 100 million lines or rows, and within this we can then analyze based on the article number, EAN number, product numbers, and we can also clean or looking at the article name, because the product number is not the 100% identifier. You need also to look at the name. What is the quantity behind, and which articles are really addressed in the in the eBay article then itself. But so to say, it's partly possible to see really on the OEM number or part number that is available, but to do really deep analysis, that's something we provide on a custom level. Okay, from here, that's everything what I can show now regarding the eBay channel.
Just
Yeah.
one more question in this context, a question coming from Frank Hagenai. The next level above the OE part number, generic article number, TechDoc generic article number. Do we have a cleaner look on this, or does the same apply that you say? Maybe bundles, yeah, probably the same situation.
Yes, indeed. At the moment, we are not connecting this to TechDoc article numbers or TechDoc information. That's purely taken from eBay as it is. So there is no connection from our side made to the TechDoc generic level. Something to consider, but yeah, of course, it is also about licensing, etc., and that again is something to consider on the custom or individual level. Then yeah, let's come to this was the eBay long-term perspective view. That's also something a complete new view and dashboard we are publishing now, and this will be rolled out to everybody who is already onboarded. So it's an additional perspective to the eBay information. But now we are coming to the Amazon Insights, and that's another complete new dashboard, which is then part of the complete new bundle we are offering at the moment. So with the Amazon Insights, or that's the first time we are able to see what is happening on Amazon. And that was always a black box for us to see. We had our estimations that it's slightly at the same size as eBay is, etc. But now we have a more proven information, and also much deeper information, so that we can go into the different art categories and brand levels. What we do not have is the information on the single, so how much is a single seller doing on Amazon. But let's look here. So at the moment, or is selected the year 2025, and we are looking, or we have information about 4 different markets or platforms of Amazon, which is Germany, UK, France, and Italy. And that was first kind of surprise to see that Germany is dominating or outranging the other markets, where it was always, or if we are looking at the general e-commerce level, it's always said that the UK is a major market among the European players, and France is a dominant player. But when we are looking at car components, car parts, we have a different picture. And yeah, I would select Germany as well. And we have at the moment, the growth or development is showing -28%. That's because we are looking only at 10 months at the moment. We are, within the next week, we are updating this to have the full picture of the full year, where it's going to be much closer to the 24 numbers. We can see the entire development over the months with the comparisons to the previous year, to the previous months, and we have also the splits of the revenue or the gross merchandising volume, what is done by the third-party players, so all the single players that are using the Amazon platform, and what is Amazon doing by himself or selling and offering from Amazon directly. And again, if I scroll down, we are coming into the different categories, and the same picture here. We are using the Amazon category names, and starting also from category 2, because category 1 is then the automotive automotive category. And yeah, from here we see directly that the split of categories is very different compared to what is on eBay. On eBay, we see that there is brake parts, chassis parts, steering parts on top, and here we see even we see that there is the general wear and tear parts is the major category, but if we select, we see that there is coming lighting, batteries, wiper blades, styling, filtration, etc. So it's definitely something where we see that here is the end consumer is a private person. This is very dominant or very significant to read from these numbers.
There are two more questions. One is regarding the scope in general. Beyond passenger cars, are there insights available for commercial vehicles?
At the moment, we are looking only, or the focus is passenger cars. However, there are a few players already in our perspective that are more CV parts players, but it's at the moment not clearly in focus. The same applies to motorcycles, etc. We have tried to filter everything out so that it's really dedicated to passenger cars here. But of course, it's difficult to really know what the single players are doing in these categories.
And there is a second, thank you. And the second question is more a technical one with regards to the platform. Are we able to see one category? Maybe one, can you add some more there? It's 1P versus 3P. So maybe is it means just one part versus three parts?
So it's the split between the third-party players versus the Amazon.
First, okay.
Yeah, so it's possible to see this also on a category split. So here we see that 65% is done by Amazon. So it's something you certainly see with more easy parts that is easy to understand from the private person perspective. And that's where Amazon is clearly taking more shares, and the more complicated the parts are becoming, the share goes more to the third-party players. So that's again another proof to see that dealing with Amazon has its good sides, but it's there is always the risk that Amazon is taking its own shares when they see there are categories that are running well. This is not going, or this information is available for category 3 level, but if we look further down, it's the basis of information is getting less, so there it is not anymore to see how the split is between the third-party players and the first-party players. That's based on the methodology of collecting these information. The same applies to the brand level. When we look further down, we have also the split into the different brands. And as we are in filters, we see Manfilter and all the other players here, how they are distributed among this category. And again, here, if we go in smaller category filters, sometimes there are no results per brand because it's getting too small from the market volume side. But if we stick on the category 3 level, we have always the split into the first and three-party players and the brand distribution within this single category.
Okay, great. Thanks. I've learned also a lot during this session. And then the question came up about the language. The categories, are they also available in other languages? I assume the question is mainly for English.
It's something what we have we are remaining now on the category namings that we are taking from these websites. So in UK, we have the category naming in English. In France, it's all in French at the moment, which is also, yeah, good to see how this is, or not to mix it up between the countries. If we're looking at the entire market, but we are working on aligning these, making a entire translation in English through all 4 different languages, which is a bit complicated because they are using not the same category hierarchy in each of the countries. Okay, do we have more questions regarding this? Of course, we have also, again, here a documentation about the methodology, where this data comes from, and what you can and information about the abbreviations, so that it's always possible to read what means what, etc. And also about the methodology to understand what can I do with these information and where are the limits. Okay, that's as mentioned, the complete new perspective to the Amazon, and likewise to everything else. We are updating these information on a monthly level, so that whenever you have access to this tool, you will have monthly progressing and possibilities to see the development on the total market, on eBay, on Amazon, on a monthly level, to stay ahead, to keep track and trace how the market is developing.
Yeah, I think with this, are we complete? Have you with the tour? So then I would also again ask, start the Q&A session. Are there more questions? Please also raise your hands if you want to speak up, or either do it through the chat. If this is not the case, maybe Antti, I have one. You already mentioned on the frequency. From your perspective, what are really the key advantages of the new e-commerce insights release in general, and where is really the fastest value for the users with regards to aftermarket decision making? If you can summarize this a bit to for our esteemed attendees.
Okay, yeah. First of all, I mean, with this new release of the e-commerce insights, we believe that we filled up the gaps that were always requested. We were looking previously to single players, to a single marketplace like eBay, but we didn't have the full picture. And that is what we're providing now. We can zoom out, we can see from the top level what is the market volume on Europe, and go really down from there, from market to channel to single players, to see how they are performing on the market, even down into the category level. And that's something where I believe that is highly requested and hopefully appreciated, to see this in the full picture. On top of that, I can only recommend utilizing the eBay insights, because this is really a unique data set to see what is exactly happened. Mostly information are based on prices gathered from websites, so you see only what is offered. But this is a database to see what is really purchased. And since we are not talking only about private people purchasing, we see the switch, or that the purchasing of B2B from e-commerce market players is increasing, and the interest is increasing year by year. Therefore, the insight even on eBay is giving a good picture what is happening also on the workshop level, and this is getting year by year more significance, and therefore it's a really great database to see about the own performance. Either you are the brand owner or if you are a seller by yourself, you have at both stakeholders, you have great insights and can utilize this data to either to observe your performance, but also a lot of chances to take action from there. And of course, last but not least, first time we see what's happening on Amazon. Again, here we know that a couple of stakeholders, brand owners, manufacturers are already teaming up with Amazon. They are providing also information, very insightful information, but it's always limited to what Amazon itself is selling to the market. And within this, you can see also what is the share of third-party players. So you have the missing part of Amazon sales towards what you already get from Amazon potentially. The same applies, of course, to eBay information.
Fantastic. Thanks, Antti. So that's really exciting. So we have a combination of the full picture of the market, detailed eBay insights, which are unique, good insights on developments of B2B versus B2C. Yeah, and also the new Amazon module giving another, say, angle to the market. So I think you could all talk about this, go on for hours, and sure you will. And this is also our invitation to all of you. If you have more questions, I mean, we still have a couple of minutes. We would also like to have some direct feedback if you might want to speak up, or do it through the chat. We'll follow up on any other questions that might occur. And please also reach out then to us. We will be more than happy to set up individual sessions with you, how to access the new module. As Antti mentioned, some of the content will be part of your existing, say, subscriptions to eBay Insights with some improvements. Of course, the new overview will be a separate, say, module. And yeah, we will be very happy to follow up with you, available to set up individual calls, meetings in any form. The recording will be made available. Yeah, with this, I think we've come to the end of the session. Again, if you still have a question now. So yeah, we will provide also some information about the costs. We will do this on an individual basis. Definitely then we can take it from there. So thanks again for your time today, this morning. It's been great having you all. Wishing you a good rest of the day, and let's be in touch soon. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much for your interest and attention. And yeah, stay in touch with you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye-bye. Thank you.